right, hello, hello. Oh, you guys should be able to hear me. It looks like you can. Um, yeah, we'll get into it. So again, apologize for missing yesterday. I was just absolutely a complete zombie. Um, last night was a little bit better. We were up at 12:30, 3:30, and then 5:45 for the morning. So better than yesterday. I don't know that's good, but better than yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. Melissa's like, yeah, we went out to a team dinner last night. It was great. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm glad for you. I'm happy. Yeah. I don't know that the coffee's gonna be strong enough, Neuro, but yeah, it's yeah, yeah. Don't know if it's strong enough, but we will see. So yeah, no, I'm still dead tired. Better than obviously what I was yesterday, but not by much. Not by much. But it is what it is. So I mean, we'll do what we can today. And you know, yeah, I'm gonna drop the kids off later too. And oops. The the hard part about all this is tonight the boys have practice at 8 to 10 p.m. They have a box training tonight, and that's the only time that we can do it. It's like hockey, right? You got to get an arena. So yeah, so it should be exciting. I'm gonna drop the little ones off of my mom's, and then pick up the boys, and then I'm gonna come home and sleep for like an hour or two before I start all the practices. So tomorrow morning is gonna be rough. Tomorrow morning is gonna be the big test. I got to get the boys out to the school at the normal time. Got to get Jen out to school at normal time, and then get back. So, yeah, should be fun. I'll sleep good tomorrow night. That's all I'm saying. So, there's some interesting things in the last 24 hours, obviously, really in the last 48 hours. Again, Williams, the labor market's very strong. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, look, the Fed is barely restrictive right now. Again, Williams is kind of leading more towards a hawkish statement right now. Obviously, we had the State of the Union speech last night. Um, kind of funny, I guess. Biden stayed afterwards to talk to senators, but if you watch it, you're like, wow, he's the president. Like, I don't know, he was yeah, I don't know. Age, I guess, maybe? He looked totally out, like, I don't know. I was like, wow, doesn't seem super sharp. Just kind of like, hey, you, hi, yeah. It's like, wow, scary, scary is what I got from it. Yeah, it was an interesting speech. There was obviously some things that were pointed, and I think it was pretty predictable. I'm gonna blame the Republicans for everything. Yeah, okay, that's you can do that, but that's just that's the presidential thing to do. I'm gonna blame the other party. It's like really, they're. It's funny. It's like I do believe it was the Democrats that had to sit in and refuse to get off the floor, right? So we're talking about the Republicans are blocking stuff, but I believe it was the Democrats at one point sitting on the floor during lunch or something like that to protest or something. It was like, yeah, ugh, politics is so tiring. Yeah, and then we shot the balloon down, and China's like, it's our property. It's like, okay, maybe, maybe, and now the U.S. is like, well, the stance on it is pretty funny. I love it. China, it's our property. You got to give it back. It's like, well, it shouldn't have flown over our stuff then, right? Because if we send weather balloons over your country, are you gonna, And the military's like, they're just trying to flex on us. Probably, right? Did you see Biden talking to senators afterwards? I would flex on you too, right? So yeah, that's where we're at right now. You can see today, obviously being Wednesday, not a whole lot of news. Williams is speaking right now, and that's kind of it, right? We have wholesale inventories coming in. We have crude oil coming in. Expected to be a bit of a surplus. Again, we know how accurate that has been lately. They had one that was close in January, but a couple of monstrous ones, and then last time also a build in surplus. Now oil is up a little bit. Typically, when we see oil up beforehand, we tend to see it kind of turn and roll back down again. So we'll see what we can find there. But besides that, it's a very quiet day. Not, you know, not really tons out there, right? News wise, you would assume that there would be more, but no, not really. Kind of slow, right? And that is what it is. Tomorrow, okay, tomorrow, really not as much, right? We have pound, monetary policy hearing report, report hearings. So we'll get a little bit of news from that. And again, it's kind of at a weird time, like right around that 5 o'clock time frame. So the 5:30 reversal time is when I expect to see it. Unemployment claims, maybe something, but besides that, really not a whole lot tomorrow. And then again, Friday we finally have some type of red news. But for the most part, it's just kind of bland. It's just headlines and predictions, and people are looking at this about what do we do? Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, the PAL data yesterday was pretty good. There's definitely some spikes up. PAL is in the disinflationary environment. Is his new thing. So, must have just shot me a message. All right, sorry. She sent me a message. I'm like, you knew she's an hour behind, so I think she's like forgetting. She's like screwing things up. so, but movement in the last 24 hours, pound is the most. And again, it's kind of more just dollar weakness is what we're seeing the reversal of it. Because if you look at the pound yen, 48 is really not a whole lot. Euro pound down 36 again, seeing a little bit of pound strength, a little bit of dollar weakness again. Dollar yen down, dollar Swiss down, dollar CAD down, but all retracing back in the last hour. Aussie dollar down, but also kind of retracing in the last hour. And again, some of that maybe the comments we're seeing kind of coming back into the market. Again, Williams making comments about how we're barely restrictive, or we're going to go past. So you know, there's a bunch out there. Headlines that we'll be watching, rolling in the next little bit. But none of these I would say are anything, you know, to where I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's going to be a big move. I don't think there's anything like that today. So right now, it's just everything is kind of equalizing, waiting for like the next big, the big thing to drop. Start off here with the VIX. Now VIX. Wild day yesterday, as you'd expect. I mean, Pat was speaking. Big spike down, big spike up, big spike back down again. Had a little bit of a gap up, but we basically held. There's nothing in the overnight, so overall, just generally flat. Um, with really, unless Williams says anything that's earth shattering, I would expect this to kind of just turn and continue to deteriorate. Funny enough, we did have, again, this is the VIX. It's not really a buy and sell thing, but there was a gap here, and look, you can see we bounced right off of where that gap fill was. This was anything else besides the VIX, you're like, whoop, this is a nice little trade setup. It would have been, right? But right now, not too much. I would expect this to kind of, I don't know, maybe kind of hold firm. I don't know that we'll really kind of get out of this range. I think 1850 to 1890 is probably the range we're in today. Indices are all just slightly into the red right now. Again, no real major news. Um, you know, no real major news. Just kind of one of those things, right? I mean, it should technically deteriorate down, but there's nothing bad. When there's no bad, it's why not just give it something good? What? I don't know. I think she misses Kip. Sent her a picture of Kip this morning. So Kip found the secret stash. So Melissa stashes food because if we don't stash it, the boys will eat it all. So she stashed these Rice Krispie treats, right? So I was going to the bathroom, and Kip's crawling around the kitchen, and he comes back and basically he hands me a Rice Krispie treat. I'm like, well, I guess he remembers where, and he's done it before, so he actually knows where the Rice Krispie treat stash is. And I sent her a picture, and she's like, his hair is so short. Did you cut it again? I'm like, no, no. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Sorry, she's like asking. I know why she's messaging me now. Sorry, it was flight questions. Trying to figure out when she gets home. So obviously that's very important to me when she gets home. I know you guys don't care. Like, why is he not talking again? Um, she was not supposed to get back till like super late on Friday, and now they may be letting her leave early. So I'm like, yep, I'm all over that one. I would like to sleep sometime in the next 4 days through the night. So anyway, that's what we got. Dollar's basically flat, 0.00. It's red, but it's 0.00. So you can see it's kind of flicking back and forth. And again, all this movement yesterday came from Powell, right? Down, up, and then just kind of deteriorate back to the downside. I would say we're still kind of in this range, just 104 to 103 range, kind of just bouncing back and forth. We obviously have buyers down here. There's a little bit of a gap there. You can see we've hit it again and again and again. At this point, though, if you throw some fibs on there, you can see we do have some kind of basing here and an area right here. Kind of level where we're looking for a reversal. And again, right now we're seeing the chop back and forth, but we have Williams speaking, right? So, with Williams speaking, it's always kind of again, Williams is not one of the big guys, but at the same time, it's like, could we hear something that surprises us? Sure, we could. So until Williams is done speaking, we're going to have to be kind of at the mercy of it. And again, you see the indices are getting a little bit more red, just a slight bit. So they're trying to decipher it as well. Looking across the commodities, you see, oil up, and again, continuing to push higher. And again, some of this may be because of China, some of the data. And again, it could be some of the economy stuff. Natural gas is down, but it's not down near 2. You're seeing gold just up a little tiny bit. And silver as well. And again, this may be because William just mentioned we're a little bit beyond restrictive, right? Or just a little bit restrictive. Again, why that's important is because, some people are saying that we're not at restrictive territory yet. This is one of those ones. It's like, hey, somebody's saying could they slow down because we're restrictive now? If we just let it hold, if we do nothing, right? That's what they're looking at. That's what they're watching. And then silver just a little bit worse. So kicking across to the Aussie dollar. So Aussie, you can see yesterday we kind of had that tag. Actually, this was Monday, super late at night after we talked. We talked about the 23.6 in there. Obviously, we skipped yesterday, but there would have been your trade off the 23. And you had 2 different entries, right? You had Monday at 11 o'clock, and then you had, again, if you wanted to wait for a European kind of central or European touch, your European touch here. And you can see we went well beyond where it needed to be. So it doesn't matter which one. There and there, right? Again, nice little push back down, and we just kind of went retrace. So, obviously now it's broken through. Again, 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is the hit, and then what did it do? It based through and kind of went higher, but not anything crazy. Let's remove them now. Again, that was a Monday trade setup. Yes. All right. Right now, looking at this, I would say this probably tears back down again. If you look to see, are there buyers coming into this one? We're kind of at a level, we've tested it before, it probably rolls back down to this 69 level. There was some buyers, again, yesterday's kind of drama back and forth hiccuping. As far as big levels, for buying levels, I mean, there's a level here and a nice pop and a little test. I would say really, until we get down to the 68.75 range, I don't really necessarily love it. I think it tears back down again. Let's see if there's any hidden kind of like where 50s would step in. Yeah, 50s would step in here too. And even the 6, I mean, look, you can see 50s should get sliced through. 61.8s maybe a little bit, and then we're pushing right down to this old 78.6 level. So I would say if you are going to get this short, which, I could definitely be on board with shorts on this one, I would say make sure you look at the 78.6 level is where you look to take profit from. Again, you should already. This is if you're already in the trade. I'm not saying get into the trade right now. I'm saying if you're, not in there yet. Doesn't she know the Kip has the calls the host? Oh, yeah. Kip. He's been a piece of work. We're trying to find. I don't know if I told you guys this or not. It's funny. We're trying to find like a security blanket for him because he's 15 months old, right? Melissa's done with the breastfeeding. She's like, I'm done being away this entire week. Like, this is her week to be like, I'm done, right? Didn't do it for a week straight. I'm good, right? So she's ready to cut him off now, right? But he uses her for comfort. So we're like trying to get him like, I'm like, here, do you want a pacifier? Which is the worst thing you want to do. You don't want to give your kid a pacifier at, 1.5 years old because then it messes their teeth up, right? I'm like, here's a blankie. Here's a bear. For some reason, he likes his water bottle. He hugs and like he sleeps and hugs his metal thermos water bottle. I'm like, all right, I'm like the worst parent. Yeah, what's your kid's security blanket? A water bottle. It's like, I swear I give him water all day long. But she's laughing at me right now. She's like, does he like the water? And she's trying to name the water bottle. I'm like, we're not naming the water bottle. I'm not giving in. Right? I'm not doing it. Right? And she's coming up with like stupid names just to make me angry. And I'm like, I haven't slept, right? So this is why you don't get married, guys. Don't get married, don't have 4 kids. Um, anyway, 68.89. That's where we're looking for a target. If you're already in, you're probably good down there. Probably a little bit of a hiccup at 61.8, but 68.90. Down here at the 68.70, I look for some type of a bounce. But again, we don't really have any major news this week, so we kind of need a little bit more out of it. ASEAN. So ASEAN news-wise, we were kind of sitting up in that level, and we'd kind of peeked through it. So again, we knew to kind of be careful with that one. And again, late Monday night on that one, we took a pop, and then again, it broke. But we were actually looking for, somewhat of a short area there. There's actually your short on this side. So if you were playing kind of the retracement where we got the initial spike and then kind of the push through, when it broke back through, yes, there was a short there, but the initial short, unfortunately, for news, it was already passed, so it did not qualify as a short. But when it came back through here, that's where you should pull the trigger. And if you didn't pull the trigger on Tuesday morning yesterday at 6:30 in the morning, you had the ability to pull it today at 3 o'clock in the morning. 2:30, actually, sorry, 2:30. I'm pretty sure it's out now. Oh, Jim's yelling at the kid now. Yeah, you're out. Right there. I thought so. I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure I got the email on this one. Question on your dollar. Was Tuesday the confirmation or already the second touch? In other words, was today risky? I'll tell you in a second when we get down there. That'll be the next one. Right? Right? All right. Yeah, I'm like, that flight's good. She sent me like 6 flights. I'm like, I'm busy, right? She's like, I'm so sorry. She's like, tell everybody I'm sorry. I'm like, you're not sorry. But so yeah, it's out now. I would expect this one to continue to deteriorate lower as well. I do think where there's probably a hiccup, it's probably right around a 50% retracement. Yeah, it's between the 50 and 61. I would expect there to be a little bit of a hiccup in here in the 91 area. And again, I bet you if we take this right down to 91, it puts it right on the line. Close, yeah. A little bit past. All right, Kip is now. Jin is now yelling at Kip. He is playing with her Barbies. Oof. And again, you can see the reversal is back from where the 21, the old 23 from yesterday. So I think this is, again, I like this one to the downside right now as well. 90.80 is probably where we're looking for targets. I think the 61.8 level over here at 91.06. If you're not sure, I mean, again, there's no real, I mean, I guess, let me see. There's probably a reason to be short here. Yeah, it was right off the 50. So yeah, there are people that are probably short that level. If you are short, again, be very cautious of this level down here at 91.15. Again, you'll have 50%ers stepping in, but also the 61.8ers down here will also kind of throw a monkey wrench into it. All right, euro dollar. All right, so let's see what we got here. We're looking for a short. The short came in there. Let's remove it now so we can get a clean look. Let's pull this down. All right. Question here, was Tuesday the confirmation or already the second touch? Are you talking about downside or are you talking about up here? Give me the number. Euro dollar. Which one are you talking about, Jeff? Are you talking about this touch here? These two? Are you talking about, was the short today risky? I'm assuming that's what you mean. Assuming that's what you mean. So I know there's a delay, so I'll give it to you like this. So as soon as price came to here, right? Let's assume we can't see any of that. As soon as price came down, okay, when you look back, you're going to look at this and say, all right, there is a bit of a, again, we hit this area a few times. There is a confirmation off of it, but it hit it a few times is not strong. If you look up at the 23.6, you can say, well, wait a second, there is something going on right there. Okay, my question is it a zone or not? Yeah, you could say there's a base in there, right? You could say that there's a base sitting right there. Okay, and the reason that base is there now, is that the best pullback, right? Is that the best pullback? Not really. I mean, it'll look better the lower the time frame we go onto. Like if you go down to a 5-minute, you could say, hey, yeah, there we go. There we finally, you finally got the piece. Now, do we want to get a habit of doing that? No. Now, the reason why you can go back and look at that one, all right, is because again, there is a big wick up here, right? You got red, 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 and there's a big wick, meaning on a lower time frame with price rallying higher, this is an impulse, a correction, and an impulse move to the downside. So you know that there's something going on there. The only reason, and now, is it the highest quality of zone? Not really, right? Um, Typically, you want to see really, really smooth, easy to see levels. This one, you have to do a little bit more digging for. Now, does that make it bad? No, it doesn't make it bad, but is it the ideal scenario? Because remember, we're like this, right? There's the new low. You're like, right, there's the red, right, in here, right? You're looking at that one going, all right. Now, you may say, okay, 23.6. Could that potentially be a level, right? And again, there's another old level on top that was confirmed, right? So all of a sudden, the news came in, right? Now, when news is here, it's the question is, do I pull the trigger? Right? Now, being that this shoot up, again, this is 10:30. This is 10 o'clock, 10:30 reversal right in the morning. We expected a reversal to come back up again. This level, not good. We knew there was something there, but we knew there was going to be artificial sellers coming in at a 23.6, right? We know it's at the 23.6. Could you take that as a parabolic retracement? Sure, you could. And if you did, you were totally fine, right? Now, as it comes back up again, you look at this and you say, okay, well, I know there's sellers there before. They've kind of pushed it to the limit. Yeah, they have. So as it comes up here, you got to say, all right, well, I hit it again, right? Now, here's how you look at this one, right? Hold on. Hold on. What? Hold on, Jen. What's up? Car taking care of Kip? I know. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Here. Yeah. All right. So Kip is now waving at the screen. Just so you guys know, I asked Jen if she wanted to say hi to you guys, and he is waving at the screen now. Here, talking to this. Say hi, everybody. No, say hi, everybody. All right. So she's gonna be shy now. The only time in her life when she's shy is kind of like, you know, yeah. But I don't know if you guys remember when she used to be on stream. She's all right, Ginger. Now it's too loud. Now go back in the other room. Go watch her play. Um, she was Kip size when we started doing all this, so kind of funny. But yeah, so Jeff, in this one, so you may say, look at this and say, okay, do I take it? I would say yes, it is a little bit risky. The reason why is because the initial push on the news drove it all the way to the top of the zone, which means there's really no sellers left there. But when it did do this, it did kind of come back again. This is where we talk about color changes, right? And I've gotten a few questions, and again, with the kids, if anybody that's listening and you've emailed me recently and I haven't emailed you back, it's because yeah, I'm swamped with two little kids and half of a brain right now. But what you could have done on this one is said, hey, okay, listen, it hit that one. Here's certain ways that you can take it. You could say, all right, listen, I don't want to take it as a number one entry. Remember, number one is when it first hits a zone. This is kind of more of like a number one entry, right? Once it hit, though, again, then you can look for something in the zone where you can get it as it leaves the zone. So once it pulled back again, you can say, all right, well, listen, I know Brian's mentioned this thing about color changes. Well, here's the color change. Let me see if I can mark it off, right? There's your red, right? There's your green, and the green did not close higher than the red. And then there's your close below, or you could use that one, or you could use this one. Technically, that's where it is, right there. Okay, so we'll stretch this out. Red, green did not close higher, and a red close below the green. Actually, I guess technically that's the close below, but if you wanted to use that one, totally fine. Okay, so there would be your confirmation, Jeff, that it's coming off of a zone, and it's fine. Question is, do you take it there? Do you take the risk here? Some people will take the risk of the actual confirmation itself, right? So what they'll do is they'll look at this and say, all right, well, this is what I use for my confirmation level, and then do a 1 to 3 off of that, right? And again, that doesn't put you out of the trade. But that's just, I'm assuming that's the side that you meant, right? Had you done it there, right? Had you done the actual zone itself, you're much closer, right about there. Okay. Now, profit taking on the other side. Hold on. All right, sorry. Profit wise, you had to look at this one and say, hey, listen, there's a lot of basing right here. There is a little bit of a zone right down here, right? And you could say that, this was kind of front run back off that level, right? But that's where you'd be looking for hiccups. And you can see it did kind of push down and hiccup. So will it make it? Probably, right? Is it lucky? No, it's not lucky. I mean, again, you have the confirmation in there, so it's not necessarily a lucky based trade. But if you didn't know what you're looking for, then obviously, a little bit more risky, right? If you weren't looking for confirmations. And again, is the confirmation good? You can see it did. It pushed all the way down. There's your, if you use that as your new level of risk, the blue level, right? It did pull down, touch it, and is now continuing to push off. So that's why you could have also used just that. Okay. Now, right now in the trade, you're already up over 2-1. So at this point, you make this one. Your stop loss is literally up. Unfortunately I can't shrink it on this one. Right now you should be trailing this sucker down to, I don't know. I mean, you can use the peak or whatever. Typically you do it from once you get a red close below, you can trail it back down to this level. That means you've locked in 1-1 and then you walk away from it. Right. So yeah, I did the risky version. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, Jeff, it's okay. I mean, you can say that it's riskier, right? It is, but it's not. I mean, it is a zone, right? I mean, typically when we're looking at trades, like trading is not an exact science, right? Anybody that says it's 100% robotic, no, it's not. We definitely trade with an if this and that strategy, but when we're looking at a zone, we rate zones, right? Is there a gut feeling in it? Yeah, sometimes there is. You can say, well, the way that this candle touch, it's not a definitive rule, right? And that's why, that's why trading robots are very risky, because sometimes they cannot look at they don't. It's not that the robot is not good. It's that the programmer was human that programmed the robot, right? You can't think of all scenarios. So at the same time, is it risky? Yes. But if you are confident in your trading strategy and you've done the research and the way that you trade, if you're always focusing on the 1 to 3 risk to reward ratios, right? If you're right more than 26% of the time, is it risky? Sure. But you're right more than 26% of the time, it doesn't matter. This is just another one of those trades in there. Now, do you want to just throw junk trades on there? No. But if it meets your rules and you're looking at your data and you're right more than 26% of the time and you're doing 1 to 3s, is it really that risky? Not really. It's just another trade, right? We remove the emotion from it. So, it does have a lot of the things you're looking for. Again, is it the AAA plus trade setup? No. But does it have to be? Is every trade a AAA plus setup the best thing you'd find? No, because remember, the problem is if you take only the most perfect qualified base trades, right, you're going to miss a lot of opportunity. Sometimes, again, with risk comes reward. We talk about entries, and again, this is a great thing. I'm sorry if this is sidetracking anybody out there, but this is a very important part. We talk about entries going into things. Let's see, where's my text? Is it this one? Yeah, text. So we talk about entries, right? All right. So a number one entry, and again, this is part of what we teach. If you guys are not people, not students, this is what we teach. Our number one entry is sitting right there, right? Again, with a number one entry, you will get the most entries because it's the first time that it touches, right? The most entries, but also more losses, right? The number two, right? If you're going to do a number two entry, typically is some type of a signal or something inside of the zone, right? So obviously it's deeper into the zone, which means if something hits this and immediately reverses, you're going to have less trades, right? But there's some type of a signal, whether it be a confirmation like this, that adds to the quality of the trade. So less trades, but higher quality. The other option would be a number three trade, right? And a number three is when it's leaving the zone, right? Which means if it comes into a zone and it just continues to break and go higher, you never got into the trade, right? So number three gives you, and the reality is the pattern tends to give you the least amount, right? Because you could have had this up and then straight back down again, and there may or may not be a pattern there. The pattern may not pull the trigger. So again, the pattern typically is the least amount, the number twos. But the number three is it leaves the zone. At least you have confirmation that it's not just going to continue to do this. So you'll have less trades, right? Less trades, so less chance for making profit. But at the same time, it'll avoid when it just goes into a zone and continues to go higher, if that makes sense. So having that confirmation would be kind of more that number two. So if you're looking at this one, Jeff, There would be your number one, right? Oops, I didn't want to move that. I wanted to move this little guy right here. Your number two entry would be here, and your number three entry would have been there, which wouldn't have mattered as it left the zone because it came back into the zone anyway. So number one and number three were exactly the same. Number two would have got you in a little bit lower, but you had the confirmation of this. So one of the things you can do, and this may make things a little bit more difficult, not more difficult, but a little bit more complicated, right? Something like a parabolic retracement here, here, I'll drop this down. Depending on what strategy you're trading, may be how you actually, use this to trade, right? You may say, okay, parabolic move, I'm waiting until it comes out of the zone. And again, the quick hit you typically don't want to use. Once it closes in there, you go, okay, there's the check mark. And again, that shouldn't be number one. We'll put the number one over here. I'll just put a check mark on this one. You can say, okay, it's closed in that zone. Love it. I'm looking for a parabolic retracement trade. And again, if you guys don't know what parabolic retracement trades are and you're like, well, I don't know what that is, that's one of the classes. I'm going to take this when it leaves. So if it doesn't leave, if it continues to go higher and just goes boing, no harm, no foul, no trade. You didn't get in anything. But if this is going to turn, because it is a 23.6 level, there is an area of sellers right there. I already know it. This is an irrational move. I'm going to wait till it leaves the zone. Bam. There's your trigger right there. There's your short entry right there. Right? There's your trade. There's your parabolic move. Where in this case, if you're waiting for number two, waiting for like a confirmation pattern, the pattern, right? There's your red. There's your green. There's your red. It's all the way down here. So you see, depending on the strategy which you're trading, sometimes you got to kind of look at one versus the other one, but you always have to have a justification or a reason for it and something that you want to follow. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So we are totally derailed today. It's all Jeff's fault. I'm just kidding. Hopefully people found that beneficial. All right. So let's go to euro pound. No, that's not going to work. Euro pound. So we talked about this one continuing to push lower, and again, it's on its way. We had a little bit of a pop. It looks like yesterday morning we popped up, and then it just continued the progress forward. So look, base, 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 base. A little bit of a hiccup there, but again, trying to find a more near term. Actually, I kind of like this one right here, right? Kind of like that. Whoops. Kind of like that for the touch, right? But once it's kind of pushed through, you may have pulled the trigger right there, in which case you would have got stopped out a little bit. But you can see overall, again, the push to the downside. We're looking for this one to come back. It did turn a little bit early. This one, we still have an alert sitting on here. Look for 88.61 for a drop to the bottom. Probably CPI. Hmm. So this one is kind of setting up, right? So what I'm looking for right now is obviously tomorrow. Here, let's take this off just so there's a lot less to look at. Monetary policy report hearings tomorrow, right? If this continues to grind back up again, let's see. Let's throw some fibs on this one. There's probably a news trade in this one. Probably up in here. How much is that got to move? 40. So I think there's a news based trade in this one tomorrow. Being that it's hearings, I think a lot of people think that the UK is done. If the UK confirms they're done, this thing should skyrocket higher. If the UK is not done, saying that they think they're going to have one more and then a pause, I don't think people are expecting that. That should be a big drive to the downside. So hopefully this doesn't screw up this little Harry Potter trade here because I love the way that these candles are popping through, how it push it to the limit. Um, mm, mm, mm. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see on this one. Mm. So if this pulls back, I do not like the 23.6. It's not at a level. I like the group a little bit higher. And again, that may be stopping out the 23s. I do like those guys if you guys are looking for something today. But as far as today, obviously the 50 is too far. I don't. We should be able to get back up there if we need to for tomorrow. What's wrong, Jin? Okay, as long as he's being crazy, that's okay. Um, that's kind of what I want to see. How far is that? Only 40. It can definitely move 40. Um, yeah, I would say look for this one as far as the news trade tomorrow. I think this is definitely. I don't think we have a calendar anymore. I got rid of the calendar on me. I definitely think that's a decent news trade setup tomorrow. I just don't know if we'll be able to push all the way back up. All right, Euro. There we go. So Monday we talked about this one. So we got the basic in here. We did get the break. You can see the pullback kind of came over here, and we talked about the racetrack. Again, there's your bottom. Right? We mentioned this yesterday or Monday. Sorry, that here was that little hiccup, but this is the racetrack we were looking to come over. Well, here's pretty much textbook. Dropped, based, pulled back, grabbed that zone, which was our target for this, straight down. So we were calling the short from 142, but there's the pattern. And again, what did it do? It turned exactly where we talked about it. So we're in the middle right now. I would say this one probably has the ability to kind of reverse right there, right? Now because they are officially out. I'm gonna leave that, but probably not do anything with it. I think this one has the potential for. This is a decent for target. Um, Downside, I'm not concerned anymore. 1, 2, and 3. So this one should go lower. Um, we got right now. Yeah, so it's at a stage right now where it definitely could reverse. Right now, again, it's having people are looking at this going, oh, 23.6, and they're trying to get it, but it's the third time it's been here, so it should technically go higher. There is a drop base, and a nice drop out of it. Hey, Jen, go in the other room. I don't want to hear you, please. Um, I like this is my favorite part of this one. Right, I like this 141.50 the best. Um, Only because it's hit there once, so we have confirmation with it, and there'll be new people stepping in. When it did it last time, it was not a 50%, but now that it came down, it is a 51. So I'd right now I look at this one. My target for this would be 141.50. If this can grind higher, I think this is a great short. It could be with news tomorrow morning as well on that short. Pound dollar. So we marked this one off. Why? Because we knew what the news was. We talked about this one many times over the last 2 weeks. Europeans, what they do, they drove it straight down. Right? We talked about U.S. You're gonna hear her scream in a second. She's gonna get in trouble. Hey, Jen, last warning. You're gonna lose your play. European shot it straight down into the news, and they shot it right back up again. Now it did take a little bit longer. It wasn't an immediate response, but typically you tend to see those. Again, we talked about finding kind of that near-term balance, and this one again, not the cleanest of entries. It kind of got chopped up here, so not the end of the world. We'll bring this down. They probably got stopped out on that one. All right, you're going to be grounded and lose your play. I asked you to go in the other room, please. No, he didn't. They're just Barbies. They'll be fine. So every TV. So yeah, she's a drama queen. So what probably happen is she has her Barbies laid out in a specific, all where they're supposed to be, and Kip will go in there and steal like one of their pairs of pants or something or like a shoe and run around with it. and she comes in crying that he's ruined everything. So the drama is strong with this one. She's 4 going on. I don't even know. 16? I don't know. 14? I don't know. Full meltdown. He's ruined everything because he has a Barbie shoe. Yeah. Back to parenting. All right. So, right now let's remove these. I still like this one the most down low. Oh, he's got his water bottle. Um, buds, I can't do it right now, buds. We're in this right now, but yeah, I'm waiting for this. Sorry, guys. 118.67 is what I'm looking for next. I'm not interested in this one as much. We are kind of sitting in that racetrack right now. It's been okay so far, but I think it probably just bases and goes all the way down. But if we can get this for tomorrow, the 118.67, particularly for that news release, particularly for right there, I'm game. Pound yen. Let's see. Pound yen with the 78, so that one is out now. We're talking about this rolling. We talked about a roll through. Let's see. All right, is the pound going to get some help? It is. Yeah, it did. So this is one of those ones where, again, highly technical market. Something like the pound yen, people absolutely. I know, Debbie, you're not wrong. And that's Debbie. The worst part is I already kind of know. I'm hoping that like it's not as bad as what I think. Because like I said, gin's been super super easy, but I'm hoping it's not as bad as what I'm making it out to be. I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be so much worse. Like this is bad now, but it's gonna get so much worse. Um, it's rolling probably because again, it is the pound yen. People love to put robots on there, so this is one of those artificial. Is there any reason for it to turn there? Not really. I mean, I guess there's a little bit right here, but with it rolling back down, I would say I would probably. I expect this one to come back down again, float itself somewhere over in the 158 range. And again, this is so close. She's now trying to bribe him to go into the other bedroom, and she's shutting her door so he can't ruin the Barbies. Um, I think yeah, look for 158. But I'm not loving this one. But I do want to see it pull back from now till tomorrow morning. And again, mark this one off the same way all the other pound pairs are. Look for this one to probably rally off of it. Actually, that's no, that's Fridays. That's Friday's data. So yeah, keep that on your radar. Tomorrow will be what is it? 4:45 tomorrow. 4:45. So we'll do 5 right there. Where the news is tomorrow. All right, dollar CAD. All right, so dollar CAD has had a nice retracement. This has been a pure European session. Basically a 4 o'clock, turn on that one. Um, here's kind of again we set this up on Monday, right? Again, news drove it up. Let's see, did it hold? It did. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so nice move back down again. We talked about the level down here, 134, being not a good level. Again, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and then it got sliced through. It did kind of use it to the downside over here, but you would have had to kind of take more of like a near-term basing. So as far as where this one is, trending wise, we're still kind of in a range. Let me remove all these things. Again, we can bring this up just a little bit. You can see that it did go a little bit deeper. Um, we're on the top third, so oil is rallying, but right now we have kind of a strong oil versus strong dollar. I don't really love necessarily either one of them, and the one thing I'm concerned about is this top side. You can see we had 2 touches in the front run right here, so this is kind of a lot, right? Um, it's a 134.70. Hmm. I really think we're due to get back up to the 135 range. Again, I don't think we hold here. But we need some help. We definitely need some help. I'm gonna hold that there. Let's see. Are these gonna be in there? Yeah, they're gonna be in there. That's what we're running into. So right now we're running into that same thing that I mentioned with the pound. It's at 10:30 time, so we are looking for reversals. But look at that. There's really nothing over there, but artificially you can see it's having some problems now between the 50 and 61.8 as you know trading robots and things like that are like, oh, it's 50. Get in there, sell, sell. That's what you're running into. So um, yeah, it's all right. Hold on. What was I trying to do? Pulling back down again. That's fine. So, Jen, thanks for helping today. I appreciate it. Guess who's going to school when I'm done? I'm gonna drop you off too, buds. I was trying to see if what oil was doing to see if that was affecting this, and probably it's probably why we're starting to see this kind of buds. What? Here, take this green ball. Here, green ball, green ball. You love the green ball. Um, Wait till this one gets back up. I don't love this level, but I could be swayed into thinking that there could potentially be something here. I want to see what happens with oil, though, and oil comes out in 8 minutes. So, again, if that number is up or down and we have a big kind of push in oil one way or the other, that should dictate what happens with the CAD because the U.S. is going to run out of steam right now. U.S. market-wise, you can see that, there's your kind of like 3 o'clock in the morning. So we should see some profit taking at this point. It's pretty much been straight up. It's about 66 pips. So it's not out of the range of what we would like to see, right? I mean, it's definitely it's got an ATR of 100, so 66 is nothing. So it's absolutely an okay move. Here, take this. It just we're just not in a good spot for really a reversal in my eyes. But now would be when profit taking comes in. I just don't love it. Dollar Swiss. Again, the yesterday madness, right? The yesterday madness, the craziness. But again, for the Harry Potter strategy, right? Straight down, straight back up is not an entry. But we know that the zone is blown up. But is this an entry? Is this potentially an entry? Is this potentially an entry? Yes. And you can see all of them are officially out. Okay. So the reality of this one is, again, once that blew through, that's where your trade. That's where it kicked in at. Right there. Right here. Actually, right there. Okay. And you can see it turned at that 1 to 3 mark. And again, that's why we use the 1 to 3. So right now, its price is kind of rallying back up again. I think we definitely mark off the top side. Right. Um, do I like anything stopping this one on the way? Not really concerned about this level because again, there was some wicks up top that really kind of destroy a lot of it. The top side up here at 92.80. I think we got to be cautious because look, higher, a little tiny bit lower, but high again. So I don't know that there's anything left sitting in that zone. And then we're at the 78 after that. So no, no. Hmm. Yeah, look. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know if we can hold much longer in that level. That would be my target, though. If this continues to rally up, that would be a target. Um, and this consumer sentiment's there. How much? What do we got right now? It's only 60. Um, Yeah, we've moved 33 pips since the European Open. It's got a 91 daily ATR. So it's just grinding. There's not a lot of power in this one. As I said, I think it pulls back. I think we run into some sellers, probably around 92.45. I don't know that I love this area top. I'd like to see where we are with kind of something with news. But right now, again, it's just profit taking on this one. Again, easy Harry Potter trade, but right now there's nothing else on that one. Dollar yen. Um, we got here. So dollar yen, we talked about it pulling back down again. You can see we kind of tagged it, and then We're really just hovering. I wouldn't say that there's anything that's nothing that's kind of crazy outstanding here. I mean, as far as shorts go, not a short because again, this is hit number 3 on it. What? No, we're not gonna play with that. No, go in the other room. Come on. Go get sister. Go get the Barbies. Go go get them. Here, here. Go get it. Let's see. Are we getting any profit taking on this one? No. But now that we did that, you can see there is a little bit of a level here that could actually give us something. What's the price tag on that one? Oh, look at that. So we have a 61.8 right at 132. The last time we were there, we had all these descending wicks. So you guys know that I absolutely love when I have this, right? No, and again, artificial sellers at 61.8, descending wicks, strong push out of it, and a whole number. Love all those things. So we can tag that at a 10:30 or 5:30 in the morning. All over that one, I'm good. So that's a good one. Mark that one off. That's a pretty simple one. Let's go look at oil real quick. We got 3 minutes. We'll see what this one's doing on the lower time frames. It's starting to base down here. So if anything, it hasn't really halted the way that I would like. I think it's already left. Maybe it's trying. Actually, you know what? Hmm. Don't really have the hold that we want. Typically, we want it to like this. We want it to like hold. Little tiny candle, like little, something like this at the bottom where it just stops, right? Some candles like this. It hasn't quite stopped yet. Um, hmm. It is pulling right back up into that level though. So one thing I don't like about this one, I'm wondering actually if we go with this area here, if we can get up there. I don't know if we're gonna get up there or not. And even then, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time. We only got 2 minutes before it, and it's not even stopping. So yeah, I don't love this one. Like I said, there's definitely a zone down here, and it was a zone that it was holding. Right? It is 8 o'clock in the morning is where we kind of found buyers in there, and it's kind of hitting off of it now, but it's pulling back up into a small level. Let's see, fib wise, we have anything? Yeah, it's kind of right at that 23 too. That's what I was worried about. I don't know if I had to make a direction, I would say probably more short. Um, But I mean, it's picking the. I mean, that's kind of there's kind of your confirmed zone, right? And it's okay. I don't. I just don't love it though. It's all right. I don't know. I would say more short than anything else off this one. Um, is what my thinking is. Let's go over and do natural gas real quick. All right. So there was your old level from yesterday. From Monday, right? We talked about getting short at 258, and we did. We got a pullback. You can see that 11 o'clock yesterday morning. You guys got the entry. Um, Kind of went down, gave us a new bottom down here, right? Um, hmm, Funny, came right at the 23. I got it, buds. What? What? I got it, buds. Um, Honestly, I think wait for this to come down here. No. Here, you want this? Boop. Here, put your hand there. Oh, where'd your hand go? Where'd your hand go? Where did it go? Yeah. Where's your drink? You need your drink. Yeah, I would say look for this one to continue to push down. Again, it's taking the bounce off the 50. I think if it comes back down to 245, probably where you're going to see the next area of buyers coming in. It's a decent base here, and again, it will be artificially supported by the 61.8 on there. Uh, I don't know. We need something major. It's Wednesday, and I wanted this down at 2, and we're at 250 still. They're fighting me on this one. They're fighting me. Um, so we definitely need some movement. It looks like each day we're getting closer and closer to being a failure on that one. So I want to. I wanted to break 2. I wanted to break 2. Not that 250 is a bad deal, but I knew he'd be on hand to provide some market. Yeah, who Kip? Yeah, he just wants to whine. He's a big whiner. Yeah, I know it's a stage he's going through, the whining stage, but doesn't mean it doesn't grate my nerves any less. So you tell him no, he cries. Which obviously anybody that's a parent knows how important that one is, right? Your kid has to understand that no means no. So yeah, yeah, he just wants to be in the face, and he's like, I'm gonna steal this, I'm gonna take that. So yeah, let's check out gold real quick. Actually, let's see, what did oil come as? Again, we've been so bad lately on it. Are they okay today? Yeah, basically as expected. So they finally got one that's close enough that it shouldn't affect it too much. It's a little bit here, but you gotta stop. This actually shouldn't affect it too much, but again, there's a little bit of red. So gold going back down. So again, gold is down 0.09, so it's not really anything big today. It's just kind of, I would say, it's more or less flat. You can see there was the one trade from Monday, and that level's actually gotten hit again and went all the way back down and touched the other side, and then came back up again, and it's about to push down. Now, this bottom side, I would say we're more trending. There's no real news that's making this change. The bottom side is going to have a lot harder time holding at this point, though, because we've already hit it 3 times. And again, the initial base was not great. It literally chopped back and forth and popped, and then has literally just been channeling sideways. Top, again, bottom was formed. Top here, bottom, kind of almost to the top, right? Bottom, top, and then we're coming back down to the bottom. Get down, come on. Go in the other room, please. Thank you. Um, I still like the short below 1860.60, right? No, no. Um, I still like these two levels. Hold on one sec, guys. All right. Sorry about that. I was like, he was getting to the point where it's like, oh God, just go in the other room. All right, so 1860, 1845, 72 are the two areas that I'm looking for. Again, the 1, 2, 3 touches. It shouldn't hold much longer, but again, right now we really need some news that's going to affect this one. All right, some type of like definitive news. Obviously, Williams' comments today are helping drive it back down. Talking about the restrictive environment, it should move a little bit more. The question is that are Williams' statements going to be enough to finally punch us through that 1860 on our way down to 1845? Now, Silver technically is doing a bit more, right? It's up 0.66. It's a little bit, but is it really much different? Not really. I mean, here's the bottom where we drew it the other day, and it's kind of like hit and kind of hit again and kind of hit again. Nothing crazy, right? It's like, it's all right. And all it's doing is basing off the top side, too. So it looks very, very similar. So while one is down 0.1 and the other's up 0.66, I wouldn't say that this is anything, super crazy or anything. So, I don't know who that is. Sorry, I was getting a phone number. Um, I was getting a phone call, and sorry, my assistant coach he's applying for a police position, and I'm one of his not witnesses. Sorry, reference. It's called a reference, not a witness. He was like, yeah, someone's going to be calling you just to verify things. I was like, oh, okay. So I think I missed the call yesterday. So, and I think it's what's holding his job up. They just want to verify his witnesses or his references. God, I don't know why I'm stuck on witnesses. It's for Maryland Transit, so it's like it's a state police thing. All right, so that's what we have. Again, no real trend. Gold and silver look very, very, very similar. It's just where they closed yesterday, and that's what kind of is giving a misleading look on that one. I think 22 is still probably the target on this one, but we're probably going to kind of kick back and forth. There's no, like I said, Williams statements have not been big enough, but slightly grindy, nothing super crazy. Looks like all the indices have advanced a little bit. You can see we are pushing back down, and we mentioned this. There's no real news. It should come down. Most likely, it does drop, but nothing crazy. Again, ES. Here's the craziness from yesterday: up, down, straight back up again. Let's see. Let's drop this down to a 15. Let's see what we had opening print wise. 915 was, unfortunately, 915 was red, so we were looking for long position, but there was no confirmed zone on the other end. On the top side, um, there was kind of a confirmed short in here. Again, not so much opening print, although the 930 candle did drive you into that one. So, yeah, it's not the ideal scenario, but again, there was your basing and your confirmation. There was nothing, even though that the candle was red, right? Even though it was red and we were looking for longs, there was unfortunately nothing over here that was confirmed that we could have taken it off of. But once it popped back up again, all it was a trend continuation. The zone was formed at 4:15 in the morning and then touched and confirmed at 6 and 6:45. So there was technically a short out of there. Um, I would say this is more just a trend continuation based trade. There's your 1 of 3. Not so much a opening print kind of strategy because again, opening print relies upon the 915. So it was a trade. It was just a trade that you guys should have been able to grab, but not the standard opening print that we're looking for. NQ. Same thing. Not really in his zone. Came back up. Didn't get, again, just a trend continuation, right? Yeah, it's a trend continuation. No real entry though. Again, 915 was red. The 930 up, but not really in the level. So overall, I would say if this one doesn't reverse now, this one's heading all the way down to 12, 500. Yeah. This one does not reverse now. Look for this one to continue to push down. So it's either reversing from here or it's going to 12,500. So we'll see. Looks like it's trying to reverse from here, but yeah. But no, you wouldn't. There would have been an opening print on this one. YM. There's the 915. So this one actually, there was a confirmation. This one did have a confirmation, an 8 a.m. confirmation. The 915 was red, and there's your trigger at 930. And 1 to 3, that's 3-5, so it's good. There's your, oh, I had it dead on. There's 1 to 303. You can see it is passed. So, yeah, and there you go. There's one opening print. So ES was kind of just a trend continuation, although it triggered right at opening. NQ was nothing. YM, again, gave us the 915 red. Looking for a green. There's your level. There's your confirmation of that level in the overnight. And again, there's your 1 to 3. So we're good to go there. And then the Russell. 915 was green, so you were looking for a red, but there wasn't really, I mean, I guess probably this one is like there's a level here, 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 and it's really all the way back up top. That was the best confirmation because this is like, this is like stair stepping, but not really like a good. I mean, I guess there maybe I don't know, maybe you could say that was it the confirmation, and if you had tried that one, it would have been a little tiny loss, right? Maybe you got stopped on that one. You know, maybe that turned into a stop. It's okay. Again, it did give us a confirmation. Actually, it would have been more hard. It's like step, 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 step. Yeah, maybe you got stopped on that one. And this one just went right back up to the extreme. So thinking's the same. It is 1030. There could be a potential reverse on this one, but if it does stay negative, it looks like 1948 could be the target for this one today. If we don't do the reversal right now. So yeah. Kind of exciting. Yeah. All right. So yeah, like I said, I think the best one was obviously this one. YM was the nicest looking one today. It was the cleanest one. Obviously, very, very easy, kind of easy things to grab. So all right, that's it today. We're about 10 minutes late. And again, sorry, we kind of got sidetracked with the little ones and stuff. It is what it is. And we did the extra teaching today, so which I'm cool with. I'm always fine doing that one. This one. AMC, man. AMC. Right? I mean, I guess it's not as low as it could be, right? I mean, I guess, it was lower, right? But then it was like, yeah, $40. And man. And again, GameStop, baby. GameStop. Where are all those GameStop people now? Where are those GameStop people now? The fact that it was up at 120 is unbelievable. So, oh, the fun of the meme stocks. So, all right, let's go and do the drawing, and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to feed these little ones. They're being quiet in the other room, but at this point, God, there's got to be decapitated Barbies, and Jin's probably, yeah, she's probably in tears. All right, so I have to say it. Neuro going in big. He knows it's number 3. He's got all the odds in. He's doing everything he should be doing. Right? This is the correct way to play. Now, does that mean it guarantees a victory? Nope. It absolutely does not. So we know that he can be stopped, right? It's the few versus the many, right? The few meaning they put in just one ticket versus Neuro's many. But again, he got stopped last time by a single ticket, right? So let's see. Are we going to have a winner from the few? Winner of today's drawing is... Nope, statistics won today. 66%. As it should. Again, it's always fun, right? You always want to root for the underdog because that's the thing, like the underdog story. But the thing is, the underdog story is great because it doesn't always happen, right? If you're a betting man, you're putting your money on the big dollars, right? The big dollars. So, congratulations, Neuro. But you played that one perfect. And that's probably why Ernest didn't come today. Whoops. It's a 250 day. All right. Works for me. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to take... it's already 11 o'clock. I don't know. Maybe I'll take the gym to school or not. I'm not sure yet. It depends. I guess we're going to go... Everybody will eat. This is their eating time. And then I'm going to drop them at my mom's and then get a couple hours of sleep, I think. And then, like I said, the boys we have the regular practice from 6 to 7:30, and then we have to drive up to Baltimore, and they have a box practice from 8 to 10. So I'm going to be a zombie. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Friday night. That's why I was so excited when, again, I apologize for having to pause and get her stuff, but got to say I'm excited for her to get back. Not because I miss her, and she'll be mad about that I said that out loud, but I just went to sleep. So anyway, I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Like I said, last night was better. Hopefully tonight is not as bad. I'm going to do my best to get here tomorrow morning, but I'll see you guys at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.